What's up guys, Matt here, and today I will be reviewing Batman The Killing Joke, the new animated movie from DC Animation. I had the pleasure of going to the cinema to actually see this film. It actually got released here as a limited run. I'm sure it did in America and a bunch of other countries, and I was actually really surprised that the cinema near me actually was sharing it and having a screening and everything. So I went down and saw it, and it's okay. It's kind of hard to explain. So The Killing Joke is a comic by Alan Moore, and it's a pretty big comic. Pretty big comic in terms of the storyline and the characters involved and what exactly happens in it. And people who should be familiar with this comic, I mean, it's pretty prevalent in pop culture. It's the reason why we have Oracle, and it's the reason why obviously Batgirl got crippled and everything, and it's seen as a storyline of Batman that a lot of people point to as being a defining moment for the Joker, and I agree to a point. There is some really great Joker stuff in that, but this movie uses the Killing Joke story as a side story. So for the first 30 or so minutes, 35 minutes, and this is only, I think, about an 80-minute film, or 70, 80-minute film, so that's almost half of your movie, is to set up a prequel story involving Batgirl and Batman. And I can see why they wanted to add it. The actual story of the Killing Joke isn't that long, and they obviously needed something to pad out to an hour and 10-minute film. I don't see why they didn't just go the route and just make a really high quality 40-minute episode, quote unquote, like call that like a mini movie or something, and just do the Killing Joke stuff. I think that would have been really great. But Bruce Timm decided to expand the Batgirl character in this, and they've kind of made her not really likable. This first part of the movie sees her going after a guy called Paris Franz. It's kind of stupid. She eventually has an infatuation with Batman, which leads to them having sexual relations. That's basically all it is. It's her pining for Batman and trying to be a romantic interest to him and everything. That's really what it came off to me anyway. And then we just go into the Killing Joke storyline, which is then full of like all the Joker flashbacks and everything, the Red Hood stuff where he's got the helmet stuck on his head and he falls into the vat, and all that sort of stuff that we see in the Killing Joke and other books. That stuff is really good, and I know a couple of people on Twitter have actually asked me about it, and I said skip the first 35 minutes of this film and just watch the end 50 minutes. You're really not missing much, since literally none of that stuff that they build up, all the prequel stuff, is really mentioned at all in the latter half of the film, so you might as well just watch the Killing Joke stuff. The Killing Joke stuff is absolutely brilliant. They lift whole panels from the comic, word for word, the dialogue and everything, like the stuff at the end where, Batman and Joker are in the rain and Batman says like he can help the Joker and everything, and Joker says he's past being helped and everything. That's lifted right from the comic, as well as the end where they sort of share a joke and everything. Though in the comic it's left ambiguous whether Batman actually kills the Joker or not, because the panel and like the lighting and everything makes it look like he's got the hands around the Joker's neck and everything, whereas here I think it just pans down to a puddle or something, and it's just them laughing. There's no like ambiguity about it or anything. So just watch the last 45 minutes really. You wouldn't be really missing much. The stuff with Barbara Gordon at the start is just useless really. It's also not helped by when this was actually screened at San Diego Comic-Con just the other day. They had a panel, I think after it, some people were talking about like to the actual, Bruce Timm and Brian Azzarello, all the people who were involved in this, about that. And Brian Azzarello is known for being quite forward with his way of talking with people, and he called a fan a pussy for not clicking with that side and kind of calling that Batgirl, only wanted sex and everything from Batman sort of thing out. And, stuff like that I don't particularly like. These guys are your fans, and, to call them a pussy isn't, really doing them any service and doing you any service. But otherwise, it's, a perfectly good DC animated film. These films have been hit and miss. Every now and then you'll get a good one like Flashpoint Paradox, or you'll get an absolutely terrible one like Throne of Atlantis or Justice League War. This one was kind of sitting in that middle one, and I know a lot of people were really happy about that. And the sad thing is, I know a lot of people are just going to give it automatic 10 out of 10s because it's the Killing Joke, it's Joker and everything. So it's really going to be sad to see some of these reviews that don't kind of get into it and about why they're giving it a 10 out of 10, besides, oh, it's Joker and Batman and it's this story by Alan Moore that you can just go buy and read, kind of like how everyone buys Watchmen or a Batman trade or something. Other than that, I'd just say watch the last 45-50 minutes of this. I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my latest video, hope you enjoyed it. While you're here, why not check out another one of my reviews, like and subscribe my channel for more reviews and videos, and follow me on Twitter at Matt_FOS. Thanks guys, and I will see you all next time.